Tactical guy 1 year from the YouTube world making this video because the news is obviously too busy with Miley Cyrus being in the hospital. So I'm going to have to report this because nobody else will. Texas has been holding this man hostage for 12,600 days. Poor guy. Jerry Hartfield's case represents neither law nor justice. Last week, in a decision that contorted both law and fact, a state judge ruled against an illiterate, intellectually disabled black man named Jerry Hartfield. Hartfield has been in prison for more than 33 years without a valid conviction or sentence authorizing his confinement. In the latest decision, the judge ruled that even though state and local officials clearly were negligent in letting Hartfield slip through the cracks all these decades, what does that even mean? I mean, do the local officials ever say that an escaped inmate had escaped 33 years ago and they just never knew about it? No. Why? Because it's utter nonsense. They knew what they were doing. They were hoping this guy would do some type of plea bargain. He never did, and so they said, we're going to teach you a lesson. That's exactly what happened. But I digress. There is nothing in the Constitution that provides him with any protection from being retried. Not the Sixth Amendment's guarantee of a speedy trial. Not the undisputed fact that key evidence in the long-ago trial, like the alleged murder weapon, for example, has disappeared. Not the fact that there is no proof that Hartfield, with an IQ testing far below standards for mental retardation, strategized to keep himself in prison for 30 years as a way of avoiding retrial. This is nonsense, but it gets better, folks. I will skip to the best part. It says right here, it says, in 2006, Hartfield, with the help of other inmates, began to inquire into his legal status. It took him 7 years from that point and round upon round of legal wrangling by his new lawyers to gain a measure of relief. Last June, the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, the same that had vacated his conviction and sentence in 1983, the same one that consistently rules against criminal defendants, acknowledged that he was wrongfully imprisoned and granted him the right to pursue his claim that his constitutional right to a speedy trial had been violated by Texas' failure to retry him after his initial conviction was overturned. This Hartfield promptly did. Between that June ruling and last week, prosecutors and defense attorneys sparred over the meaning of the Sixth Amendment right to counsel. Prosecutors immediately moved to retry Hartfield, even without the murder weapon and eyewitnesses, so they could use an old confession they had coerced out of him. There was no evidence that the incarcerated man with an IQ of 51 actually wanted a new trial, prosecutors argued in their briefs. Worse, Texas argues Hartfield committed a fraud on the court, deliberately keeping himself in prison so that one day, decades later, he would spring a speedy trial argument upon an unsuspecting court. The argument, now see this, folks, I'm stopping there, it's just so stupid. But this is the kind of stuff they do. The government will screw you and say, well, you tricked us to screw you because, one day you were going to say we were screwing you. Oh my God, poor us, we're the victims. So, what do you guys think? Let me know. And would you really let cops just come into your house or knock on your front door and say, hey, we're here to arrest someone or we're here to take them away? In other countries, we know cops answer to the drug lords. Here, it's kind of like, if you're from another country and you look at cops, you know that cops answer to the drug lords' bosses. Because that's really what our government is. It's, they're in charge of the drug lords in other countries. So, but, what would you guys do? Let me know. And thanks for watching, guys. Please spread this because this could happen to anyone.